You're watching Seven Rivers Sports here on KQEG. I'm your host, Terry Erickson. Each week, an inside look into sports, wellness, and into fitness. Well, by way of an introduction this week, I met this young man when I was at Viterbo University recently at a basketball game. And he inspired me, impressed me, and I thought, I got to get to know this young man. So, by way of that introduction, my guest this week from Viterbo University, Michael Ohana. Welcome to the show, Michael.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I even dug out my Viterbo jacket just for this interview this week. Michael, what a story. The name of the show is The Journey of Michael Ohana. Let's start at the beginning, Michael. Born in Kenya.
Yes, sir. Born in Kenya.
Talk about that.
Don't really remember a lot about being in Kenya. So I was at a very young age. A lot of my aunts remember me and my years in Kenya before we moved to the States, but it's a very vague memory of what I was like those years in Kenya before we moved here to the States.
You've been over there a couple of times.
I have.
And so Kenya in East Africa, capital Nairobi, of course. And I did a little research. 48 million people live in Kenya. A beautiful country, tremendous landscape, diverse wildlife. But the one thing, 42% of the people in Kenya live way below the poverty line. So that's the downside. And then, of course, we're going to get to the upside. And one of the parts of the upside is you. But the downside, a lot of people struggling with poverty. And something like 70% of the people that live there in agriculture. And education starting to get a little bit better, but education not a priority for young people because they need to go to work right away to help in the fields and support their family.
So definitely, yep, you hit the nail on the head there. It's definitely, Kenya's a third world country. It's definitely, I feel very honored and blessed to have had the opportunity to come here to the United States and live the life and have the opportunities that I've had here in the United States growing up.
Well, it's very diverse in terms of ethnicity too, and the two languages are Swahili and English. And I presume you've been exposed to both of those.
I have.
To Swahili.
I came to the United States speaking Swahili, and in order for me to be proficient in English and be proficient in school, my parents were told to reduce the amount of Swahili that they would speak to me at home. So as I developed and grew up a little bit, the amount of Swahili that they would speak to me in primary school kind of lessened so that I could advance and be able to do my schoolwork in school.
I know in reading some of the particulars of Kenya, now there's a mandate for children to go to school, and it's all free education. Before, of course, it was optional. Now it's mandated. And economic growth is on the upside, so there's a lot of good things happening in Kenya, too.
There are. I think with the education, it just helps open the door. Not saying that immediately working for your family is a bad thing, but the education opens different doors for different kinds of people. It doesn't just offer one option for the whole entire country of Kenya. So the education, I think, helps open up different doors and different outlets for different people.
Well, similar to this country, decades ago, centuries ago, people were not treated very well. There was a lot of slavery there, a lot of slavery here. Things have changed a lot. Now it's a republic. People are treated differently. There's more opportunities. But when you think of Kenya, first you think of track and field. You think of runners. You think of the fact that so many elite runners in national competition, international competition, World Cup, and Olympics are Kenyans. So you think of that first.
Yeah, they pride themselves because they understand the opportunity that they've been blessed with to not only to represent Kenya on the national stage, but what that representation can do for their family. So they run with a lot of pride and they represent the country with a lot of pride.
So the training over there, describe what that's like.
From what I've been told, Most of them, as you said, they work a lot in agriculture, so a lot of them wake up very early in the morning, and you'll see them running off in big groups there in Eldoret where the runners are, and then they'll do their farm work during the day, and then in the evening time they'll go back and have another second training session of the day. So that's kind of how they train during the year. And then Kenya, of course, will host a couple of regional meets for some of these athletes, and prospective coaches from all over the world, in Europe, United States, college coaches come to Kenya to recruit some of these athletes. So these athletes are training, hoping that they can get the opportunity that can help pull them out of the economic situation that they find themselves in.
Well, those opportunities have diminished too with the coronavirus, and just I know it's affected Africa, all through Africa, in a very profound way. And I know I read about some running camps and training centers in Kenya that have at least temporarily closed down because there is no national or international competition. Runners are just on pause right now. Camps and training facilities are on pause. And I even read where some people from different parts of the country, even weekend warriors like myself that run a lot, go to some of the camps over there to help improve their running.
Yeah, definitely. COVID's been a challenge for everybody in the world. It's definitely, I can imagine, been a big challenge for a lot of people back home in Kenya. So for them, they're holding on to the passion of they just need the one chance and the one opportunity to get out. So whatever it takes for them to train, even if it's by themselves, no matter if it's open or closed or whatever the situation may be, they're hanging on to just that little bit of hope that they represent their family. There's a possibility of them having a better life through running and what it brings. So,
you know, of course, it's a mecca of running. A lot of people know that. In fact, I was sharing with you the other night when we went to dinner about my races that I'm involved in half marathons, and so on. And a funny quick story is running a race in Green Bay, the Green Bay half marathon. There's all kinds of signs, and one of the signs held up by someone very high and profound was like, "In your mind, you're a Kenyan," because of course Kenyans who run in packs, Kenyans are the fastest, most elite runners in the world, and of course Kenya is the mecca of runners. But Kenya also is a mecca of elite soccer players like you, Michael Ohana, because that's also a prestigious sport.
It is. It is. It's the second sport in Kenya. It's still under development. There aren't the same amount of opportunities in Kenya when it comes to the youth system of soccer as there is here in the U.S. versus in Kenya. So a lot of the issues that they run into are just helping to foster the youth and bring up some of these younger players, and then help maintain an established professional league, and kind of help to put Kenya on the map soccer-wise, because we're on the map when it comes to running. So also, as a nation, Kenya's trying to pick up the standard when it comes to the soccer ability as well.
So like in some parts of the world, well, the United States as an example, there's youth programs, and they build up to a very elite level. In Kenya, explain the different stages and what we'd see if we were over there.
You would see, honestly, if you went to Kenya right now, you would see the academies just like we may have soccer clubs here in the U.S. The only difference is going to be the tools that are available to them. Things that you may take for granted, like having pennies, having cones, having enough soccer balls, everyone having like water bottles and boots to wear during training, a proper facility to train at. Those are the things that just aren't as consistent. Some teams may train on dirt patches where lines are marked by chalk. Some teams can't afford everybody to have boots. Some clubs can't have, not everybody has a soccer ball. So those are just the little things that are missing in Kenya that are here as just like a basic standard that I feel is.
Does the country support athletics?
They do.
And so the funding comes from the government.
It does.
Because they're, like in much of Europe, and I've traveled to parts of Europe, and the sports and athletics are not in the schools, they're in clubs.
Yeah, definitely. In fact, a lot of the support comes from a lot of sponsorship from a lot of betting companies, because they understand that it's easier for some people to put a lot of money into those betting companies, and in turn, those betting companies, they at least do a favor and give back to those communities by helping to give them support, like giving a club maybe a bus that they can use to get to matches, maybe helping them get some equipment that they need.
Well, in many parts of the world, and in this country as an example, athletes are put on a pedestal. They achieve stardom, they win a gold medal, they represent their nation, they go to the top of the mountain, and they get everything they want. What's it like over in Kenya?
For them, the athletes that are on those pedestals, the Eliud Kipchoges, the Victor Wanyamas, those guys, they're stars of Kenya, but they mostly see themselves as the light of hope for those in Kenya, if that makes any sense. And so
it makes a lot of sense. So the general population puts them on a pedestal, and they're an important part of the culture.
Definitely. They're looked at upon. They know that they're role models, and people look at them as role models, as to this is what you can do if you work hard, this is what you can aspire to do. It is possible. It may not be the easiest road, but it's possible, and that's all they want to know, is that it's possible. Just give them the hope.
And that's one of the reasons they train and want to get to the top, because they want to be an inspiration for their family, for their community, and for the country.
Definitely. It's a big, being a hope. That hope is, the hope and the passion is what will get you through some of those tougher days that you may encounter as a family, because everybody has a point when they feel like they want to give up, but right when you think you're going to give up and you think, well, you know, Kipchoge was in the same shoes I was in, or Victor Wanyama was in the same shoes that I was in at one point, it gives you that extra little push that I believe that we all need.
So they're not treated as they train. They're not in an elite city or camp or community where everything is paid for. They train, they go to work in the fields or whatever, they go back and train, so they don't get any special privileges.
They don't even want it. Victor Wanyama being one of the models that I look up to, one of the things I know we talked about at dinner that hints out to me with him is just how humble he is. Every interview, or people ask him all the time, you know, you've played in Champions League finals, you've been in Europe, you're pretty much a celebrity, but he wants people to look at people to look at him the same way, because he doesn't want any kind of fair treatment.
So he wants anonymity. Yeah. Well, we're going to step aside just for a minute, Michael, here on Seven Rivers Sports. When we come back more, stay with us.
With our busy lives, it's a comfort to know that we can still remember loved ones in a traditional way with a monument. Lewiston Monuments in Lewiston, Minnesota has been helping families purchase a monument for over 4 generations. You'll find a large selection of beautiful granite, marble, and bronze monuments, all at competitive prices. And they're a full-service company, so they also do straightening, cleaning, and repair of monuments. Stop in or call for a no-obligation consultation, or visit lewistonmonument.com for more information.
You know, the thing I'm most proud of when I think about our company is the reputation that we've been able to build in this community. Our technicians have done a great job going out and performing magnificent jobs for the customer. And our customers have rewarded us with some really great reviews online.
We have over 150 5-star reviews online right now. Our technicians do a great job out there, and our reviews show it.
We can say without hesitation, when you choose Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, you'll be glad you did.
Seven Rivers Sports, a special show this week with Michael Ohana from Viterbo University, talking about his roots in Kenya, and we're going to transition into his life here in La Crosse. Before we do that, you came to this country when you were 5, and you wanted a better life, your mom and dad and so on. But when you think back now, if you would have stayed in Kenya, and Kenya has some of the same issues that we have, racial issues, pandemic, some turmoil, and so on, what would life be like for you?
Truthfully, I'd like to say life would be, it'd be difficult, because life, to making it in Kenya is not it's not easy as it is here in the United States with the amount of opportunities. And I just look at all the opportunities that I've been given here by somebody saw me, they believed in me, and they gave me an opportunity. So I'm thinking there may not be that same person there in Kenya that may see me, give me the same opportunity for me to arrive at where I am today in this world.
I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I saw that in Michael in a 5-minute conversation introduction a few weeks ago at Viterbo University. Well, when you came to this country at age 5, you went to Gatewood High School, and then Emmanuel College, a faith-based, spiritually driven college, saw your skills. You must have been pretty good in high school, I assume, but you probably don't want to brag about it. But so then you went there, and you had some success. In fact, believe it or not, I reached out to your coach, Scott Borchers, who has gone on to another university now, but was your coach. And here's what he said about you. Michael was always willing to serve in any roles that I asked him. He suffered an injury. We'll talk about that. But Coach Borchers says he always appreciated Michael's willingness to be a team player with a humble heart like your idol over in Kenya. And you always put the team first. That's pretty lofty comments about Michael.
I appreciate that coming from Coach Borchers. Yeah, it's never about me. Even if it is something that may be about me, it's never about me. So a lot of people have taught me that, to look at the bigger picture. So Coach Borchers being one of them, one of his mottos while I was at Emmanuel was family. Forget about me, I love you. And if you think about the saying, it means forget about what I want, what's best for all of us. So
you went to a Christ-centered, faith-based, spiritually driven growth college, and you got your degree in
kinesiology.
Ooh, and so then you thought, I have a little eligibility left, and I want to get my master's degree. So you found this place in La Crosse, Wisconsin, very similar to Emmanuel, called Viterbo University, that has most of the same values. Was that the attraction?
If we're being honest, Viterbo, it was a month into our off season, and I'd been looking at several different places to go and play in grad school, and one of my friends said, you know, at the end of the day, everything happens for a reason. And it was one of the last weeks in the summer, and Coach called me and he said, you know, this is Coach Dunn here from Viterbo University. We think you'd be a good fit for our program. So at that point, I was ready. The recruiting was dwindling down, so I just decided to take a risk with it and just trust my gut. And I got here, and it's been
So Kenya, Georgia, and then to up the Midwest to La Crosse, Wisconsin. Never been here before, never heard of it. It's like, was there an aha moment when you got here?
I think maybe when I got here, and then I got here and I met some of the people, then that was maybe the aha moment, because it was as if I was still on campus in Georgia. A lot of the people had a lot of the same core values. The way their hospitality was really great for me. They welcomed me up here with open arms and everything.
Well, I can tell that, and you know, I talked to your current coach, Coach Dunn, and of course now you have another year of eligibility like NAIA and NC2A athletes do because of COVID, and here's what he said about Michael Ohana. Has made an immediate impact on the team, his maturity, work ethic, and humility. That's the second coach said humility in his first season, in leadership abilities. And you told me this when we went to dinner. What an honor to be made a captain.
It is. It's a big deal. I know when I was a freshman and a younger sophomore, the role that the captain played in my development. So when Coach told me that I'd be the captain for this team, I didn't take that lightly because it comes with a lot of responsibility because you're leading 22, 26 men plus each year, and it's not when we just train, when we're together. It's all the time, whether it's soccer related, on and off the field.
Success in anything is all about culture. You shared with me the culture, which is pretty impressive at Emmanuel College. You want to take some of those experiences and you want to create a similar culture here. How are you going to do that?
It's going to take time, and it's going to take guys not only believing but buying in. I don't want to carbon copy the culture that Coach Borchers brought me up with in Emmanuel, but I want the same culture but with a Viterbo twist, if that makes sense. Viterbo to have its own DNA on the culture, but I do feel like I have a couple ingredients to add to the recipe. So the rest of the ingredients, I believe the guys on the team have them, Coach has them, the supporting staff from the university have them. So the rest of it, I believe, will just fall in place.
Captains are leaders. Describe leadership in how you view that word.
I view it as guiding a group of people to making better decision-making skills and being better people.
And you can do that, can't you? Because of your philosophy, which says it all. Living each day to the very best without any regrets. Have you ever had any regrets?
Maybe a couple times, which is why I believe in that. Because if you give something, whether it's on the field, off the field, you give everything you have nothing to be sad about, no regrets about it. You gave it your best effort, so you can live with that.
You ever heard of Vince Lombardi?
I have.
You have? from the Green Bay Packers. Well, a lot of people claim to be the author of this quote, which says it's not whether you get knocked down, it's just whether you stay down and how you get up. Have you ever been knocked down?
I have, plenty of times, and I'm sure I'm going to get knocked down a lot more times.
So how did you respond, and how do you want your teammates, your friends, your family to respond after they get knocked down?
You have to get back up, mentally be a little bit strong, and just slowly start building some momentum again. So that's the key for me.
Humility, what would be another word that would describe you?
Down to earth.
Down to earth. Know your roots. Interesting. Knowing who you are. Authenticity. Well, the Viterbo soccer program, you're in the spring season. Fall season did not occur. So you're in this, well, as we tape the show here on March 11th, you are beginning a very abbreviated scrimmage, maybe a couple of games, season, in hopes that will prepare you for next fall. Talk about that.
Currently, I'm new to the team. We have a lot of new faces on the team, so the quicker we can find our team identity, and then once we find our identity, master that identity, and then believe in that identity, I think will foster the success for us for the rest of this season and going into next season. So just getting guys that really buy into what coach tells us on and off the field, how he wants us to conduct ourselves as men, as representatives of the university. So those are just some of the smaller things that just go into the success of our team.
So I go to a game on the Viterbo fields out on Highway 16 and near the baseball field, softball field, and which I will do, by the way. I'm going to watch Michael Ohana perform. What am I going to see?
You're going to see a team that leaves it all on the field, lots of passion. We might bicker at each other a couple times, but at the end of the game, you'll see us all hugging it out because we bicker at each other because we all just want the best from each other. So,
and I'm sure you will be the leader that'll take them to heights that they perhaps have never reached. Well, I said at the beginning of the show that I met this guy and I knew right away that he had to be a guest on the show, and he has been great. And it's just one of the benefits of me being the host is I'm inspired by people like Michael Ohana from Viterbo University. So thanks for being my guest this week.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it too.
We'll be back with some closing thoughts right after this.
You know, the thing I'm most proud of when I think about our company is the reputation that we've been able to build in this community. Our technicians have done a great job going out and performing magnificent jobs for the customer. And our customers have rewarded us with some really great reviews online.
We have over 150 five-star reviews online right now. Our technicians do a great job out there, and our reviews show it.
We can say without hesitation, when you choose Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, you'll be glad you did.
When you're faced with the decision of selecting a monument to honor someone dear to you, call Lewiston Monuments for a no-obligation consultation. Lewiston Monument is a full-service monument company serving families in Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin for over 4 generations. You'll find beautiful granite, marble, and bronze memorials all at competitive prices. Their experts can help you design the perfect and unique memorial. Lewiston Monument. Call today or on the web at lewistonmonument.com.
Well, thanks for joining us this week here on Seven Rivers Sports. I'm your host, Terry Erickson, hoping that you will have an active and a healthy week ahead.